Bayley just turned on Sasha Banks, and Andy's neighbor is drilling. Welcome to the WrestleTalk podcast review of SmackDown. I'm Quinnell. I'm rejoined this week, reunited with Andy Datson. Hello, mate.
Hello. Yes, that was almost uncanny, the timing, because he hasn't been drilling for about half an hour, and then the moment you start, he starts again. But who cares?
Crazy.
We'll get through it. I'll just talk really loudly, and he's actually drilling, not anything else.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's talk about the big stuff from SmackDown. Firstly, we're going to be talking about Bayley finally turning on Sasha Banks. This is the way I've wanted it to go down. I did not want Sasha to turn on Bayley. I think this is the right call to do it. And it worked really well after Shayna and Nia had a rematch for the women's tag team titles against Bayley and Sasha on SmackDown. I thought the match itself was really fun. I think the actual match itself was probably better than their match at Payback. And their match at Payback was a little bit slow, but had an amazing finish. Loved the finish at Payback.
This match did not have.
This was the inverse. So I think the match itself was amazing. The finish was a lot weaker than at Payback. Yes. But yeah, no, it was really fun. I thought they told a really good story. They didn't make Shayna and Nia look like just baby faces in peril the whole time, which was a really good call, I think. They somehow managed to make the dynamic work of basically 4 heels working in this one. Sasha Banks missed a Meteora to Shayna, who dodged out the way, and she hit the ring post. So her knees were weakened. Baszler just honed in on it, did like chop blocks and stuff from behind. It was working over Sasha's knee, which is great. And then, it was her just getting worked over. Nia tried to do like a stretch muffler on her knee and stuff like that. She was going for a Samoan drop, like off the second rope to Sasha Banks, who gets saved. But then Jax crossbodies both Banks and Bayley and just pins them both, which I wasn't a huge fan of.
No, because it would sort of suggest that all that Nia Jax would have to do, if she wanted to just beat Bayley to become the champion, is to fall on top of her.
Yes.
Which is basically what a crossbody is. And the fact that she pinned both of them makes it. I mean, first of all, it's not Jax's finisher, which is the main issue. It's also not a very good move. And it's just a kind of, oh, well, we need to end this match. Okay, I'll just fall on top of you. And the whole, the Jax is bigger than them, therefore this move hurts 8 times more than a normal person doing it. Because, I mean, it's just, for most people, it isn't even a 2 count move. It's just a transitional, okay, I'm going to do a crossbody now.
Yeah. And like, I get the idea of them doing it because Shayna, in quotation marks for podcast listeners, beat both of them at Payback when it was more she just used her skill to manipulate it to get Bayley to tap. It wasn't like she beat Sasha. Whereas this one, Nia just beat both of them and just pinned them clean, which wasn't quite the same.
But that was Shayna's finisher. This was just a move.
Totally.
So it didn't sit right. I'd much rather it had been like a double Samoan drop and she just pinned one of them. I mean, for example, it would have been more effective if she'd pinned Sasha, almost, just because then that gives Bayley even more kind of reason to want to turn. Not the best move, not the best finish, but I don't think that's not really what we should be focusing on.
No,
here,
exactly.
The aftermath was so good.
Totally, yeah. The match itself was really good. Finish a bit weak, but the post-match angle was brilliant because after EMTs came out to try and help Sasha. And then they didn't, and then they left. They just said, all right, fine, you just go out by yourself then, Sasha, bearing in mind she couldn't walk. Bayley was kind of helping her out the ring, kind of sliding her over towards the edge of the ring, got onto the edge, and then just kicked her in the head, which was very nice. Started throwing her into the ring steps, stomping on her some more, got her in the ring, grabbed a chair, and tried to wrap the chair around her knee, injured knee, and Sasha was like kicking her with her other leg, so she was like, fine. She hit her weird little face planter finisher thing and then put the chair around her neck and then got up on the second rope and stomped on it.
Yeah, to be honest, Sasha's probably lying there thinking, I really should have let her do the knee, to be honest. I've got another one of those. I've only got one neck. But yeah, I mean, presumably, I would imagine Sasha will now be out until maybe even the Rumble. To really sell this. Or Survivor Series, probably not, because this is going to be the Raw champion against against Bayley. So, yeah, I think you need to sell this for a while, especially because she had the added thing of her knee being worked on during the match as well. So she's kind of doubly injured in the storyline. So, I think Bayley could. It would do Bayley good to have a few months of just being a single star and just kind of lording it over. Where's Sasha? Where's Sasha? Or sorry, Sasha, as she calls her. Where's Sasha? So yeah, I think this is the right time to do it, and I think the kind of Rumble time and to build to a real blow off blood feud match at WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I could see them bringing her back sooner than that. I really hope it's not soon. I hope
Clash of Champions.
At the bare minimum, Sash of Champions. Nope, didn't work. I really hope that at the bare minimum, she returns at Survivor Series to cost Bayley the match. I think that could work a little bit better. But I'd much rather she's out till Rumble and then maybe wins it to go on to face Bayley at Mania. I'd be okay with that.
What I hope they don't do is have Sasha return way early, not actually do anything to Bayley, but just stand there with a giant comedy neck brace on for ages. And every now and then she just goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Talking.
Or if she comes out like next week or the week after, just being like, man, that really hurt, and then she like beats her up or something. I really hope they don't do that, because they should sell this for ages.
I had a bruise for 3 days. It was nightmare.
Yeah, God, I couldn't take any Instagram selfies.
Throat. Bayley, you're the worst. Yeah, she's got to sell this, because otherwise Bayley looks like a doof, because her entire this entire brutal attack would have cost Sasha 3 days of her career. So yeah, it's got to be a long time. Totally. And I think it's just the best way to do it.
Totally. I think for how long this story's been building, it would feel very, very cheap for them to just kind of blow it off now, to just be like, okay, cool, well, they've split up, so they'll have a match of Clash of Champions, and then they can split. Like, no, this should be this is still just the story starting at this point.
Another bad way to do it was they just have a match at Clash of Champions, then a match at Survivor Series, then a match at TLC, whatever, then a match at Royal Rumble, then a match at Fastlane, then a match at and I could totally see them doing that as well.
Yeah, me too.
It was the whole, well, you've been waiting for this match for ages. Here are 9 screwy finishes. Just like they did with AJ Styles.
That was exactly the example I was going to bring up. Yeah. It's like, you want this thing? Cool. Here it is 7 times. Great, thank you. But I did think, though, that this was a great angle. It really put over Bayley, the viciousness of the angle really put over, it was worthy of the story. I thought it wasn't like cheap or forced or anything like that. It made sense. Bayley looks like an absolute bitch out of it, which is great for her. Looks awesome. I thought this was a home run segment. Sasha got stretched out as well afterwards, which was great. EMTs finally came back and were like, maybe we should do our jobs this time. This was stretched her out.
I mean, it was a really serious injury. And Michael Cole, understandably, was pretty shaken by this. And thankfully, Sami Zayn helped the situation.
Yeah, he did. We're coming on to our SmackDown highlight of the week. For this week, everybody, it's back now that Datson's back. Because as Datson mentioned, it was later on in the show they were giving a very serious update about Sasha Banks's medical condition. She'd been taken to a local medical facility that putting on serious voice. But then Sami Zayn's music decided to hit, which was hilarious.
Bayley on why she would do something like this.
He's just so happy. It's just the most happy music, which just completely struck straight through the vibe they were going for.
Why would she do something like? Whoa! I would have loved it if Corey Graves just started going. Way!
I'll say props to Michael Cole for maintaining composure despite Sammy's music coming on. He still maintained a very serious.
For about 5 seconds, he was still. And here's Sami Zayn.
The man who says he's still the Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, we'll get onto that later. But that was, as a wrap-up, that was a great segment. Hilarious ending.